Hey guys, Hecons here with another World of Warcraft video. Welcome back to the weekly series where we take a look at a few mailboxes, talk about World of Warcraft gold making, and answer any questions that you guys had for me from last week's video. Sorry I wasn't able to put out a video last week, but I was pretty busy. But we're back again this week and had some pretty decent sales. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this week we have around, looks like 2 pages worth of mail, with 190 auctions sold, and around 432k on the first page. And you can see the sales are around 4 days old, so these would have been over the weekend. Been selling these BOEs for pretty decent profit. This is a normal version, Last Stand Great Belt, item level 385. Managed to get 35.2k for the first one. And then, as you guys can see, where's the second one? Oh, down here. I managed to sell the second one for 35.4k as well. I picked up, I believe, 3 of these for around 10k. So, easily tripled my gold off of those flips. You can see I'm still selling Darkmoon decks as well. The Squall's down to around 9k, which is pretty low. But I've seen them much lower, so happy getting around 10k. Before the auction house cut. Fathom's still selling for around 30k, which is nice. You can see I sold a couple over the weekend for around 33k. 33.2 after the auction house cut. Blockades at around 15k or 14.2 after the auction house cut. And then these enchant sales are getting really low. As you guys know, the new enchanting item gives you a lot more mats, so of course the prices of the enchants got hit pretty hard. And you can see the ring enchants are going for around 1.6k, even as low as 1.4k for the haste ones. Masteries are selling for around 1.6, so they're staying around, looks like 1.3 for Versa, so probably between 1.3k to 1.6k for the ring enchants. And then the weapon enchants, most of them are below 1k now. Deadly Nav's going for 854. Masterful Navigation, 892. Sold a quick nav for 1.1, which is nice. Yeah, but for the most part, the weapon enchants are around 1k or less. And then I sold a couple of 340s as well. Their prices have dropped a little bit as well. Satin boots for 3.8k. The deep sea satin's pretty expensive still, so that's kind of propping up the prices of the cloth goods, cloth items, but everything else is pretty low. Leather leggings selling for 3.2. I remember I was getting like over 20k when they first started selling, so 3.2k is definitely really low. And then I did sell some feasts on this page. You can see singles going for around 2.3k. Stacks of 5 going for around 10.6. More stacks of 5 down here selling for 11.7k. So I'm getting between probably like 2k to 2.5k per feast, which is awesome. I did talk about them briefly in the video from a couple of weeks ago. I did level cooking to max on, I think, 4 of my ults. Might have been 5 ults, but got them all max cooking, so I had a bunch of these feasts. And yeah, they've been very profitable. I could sell them for like 1k and they'd still be profitable, so pretty happy with these sales. We are starting today with around 5.8 mil. So I'm going to loot this first page, and then we'll take a look at page 2. So here's page 2. You can see I have around 622k to collect on this page. And the auctions are starting to get around 2 weeks old. As I said earlier, I've been fairly busy the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been as active on the auction house and relisting my auctions as frequently, but still managed some really decent sales. You can see I'm selling the feasts in stacks of 20 for around 50k, 49.4k after the auction house cut, And then stacks of 5 for between, looks like 12.3k all the way up to 17.6, which would be like 3.5k per feast, which is amazing. Still doing really well with BOEs. City Crusher Sabatons, one of the new raid drop BOEs for 45.1k. Glaives, which is one of the world drop BOEs, managed to get 25.7 for that one. Robust Leg Wraps of Danusa, which is another world drop BOE, managed to sell that for 26.5. I usually try and pick up these world drop BOEs when they hit 10k or lower, and then flip them at a profit. Slippers of the Encroaching Tide, 20.9k for that one. I believe that's the LFR version that dropped for me while I was running one of my alts through LFR. I'm happy selling that for 20k. Shootop's Ruler, which is one of the world drop BOEs, 40.9k. And then another Glaives for 25.7k. Now it looks like the last BOE on this page is the Boots of the Dark Iron Raider. Managed to get 32.3k for that one. Been doing really well with the 340 gear on this page, it looks like. Sold one of the staffs for 23.7. And then another staff for around 19k. I do have rank 3 on my Jewel Crafter, so these are quite profitable, selling them for around 20k. They'd even sell a bow for 11.8k. It's made with leatherworking, I believe, so very cheap to craft and selling for over 10k, so very nice profit with that one. And you can see the enchants on this page are a lot higher than the previous page. The ring enchants going for between 2.1k all the way up to 2.8k. And then I did get 2 really nice drops while I was leveling my Colturian. The pattern Comfortable Leather Hat, which has a region market value average around 79k. I got that in Uldaman while leveling. And then a Lofty Leg Guards item has a region market value average of around 37k. That one dropped for me in Zul'Farrak, I believe, so 2 very nice drops while leveling my Colturian. Rather than sell these, though, I'm probably going to learn both of them. But it'd be like almost a token's worth of gold if I did manage to sell those for close to the region market value average. Pretty happy with these sales. 622k, so I'm gonna go ahead and loot this and we'll take a look at the last 9 auctions. So here's page 3. Nothing too exciting on this page, with only around 23.3k worth of sales. I sold a ton of Flask Currents for 556 gold, Darkmoon Deck Tides for 14.1, and then a stack of 20 Potion of Bursting Blood for 5.3k. It's gonna put us a little bit under 7 million on this tune, so pretty happy with that. I did want to pick up some tokens, probably sometime this week. The token prices did go up quite a bit over the week, since there was that sale on like in-game services, character transfers, faction changes, race changes, so now that that sale's over, the prices should come down a little bit. And I do want to pick up a bunch more balance before the new Hearthstone expansion drops, so I can buy a bunch more packs. But I think they were around 120 per token, so still going to be able to buy a bunch of tokens with 7 million gold. Pretty excited? The first question this week comes from Devin Yoakum, who asked, "Those enchants, did you buy and flip or make them?" For the most part, I'm making my own enchants. I'm buying the linen off of the auction house, making those into the bracers, and then disenchanting the bracers for the enchanting materials. Remember that if you have the new enchanting item, anytime you disenchant a blue, you have a chance at Veiled Crystal now. And you'll get a ton of Umber Shards from disenchanting blues, as well as Gloom Dust for disenchanting the greens. I do on occasion buy the Veiled Crystals off of the auction house if they're low enough. Remember that you need 4 of those for the ring enchants and 1 for the weapon enchants. I was also resetting, buying out and flipping the enchants when prices got too low. However, I've been staying away from doing that the last couple of weeks. The prices of the enchants have been quite volatile with the new enchanting item, so I've just been selling at market, and if they do get reset, I'll let somebody else do that. The next question comes from Maxim Dubois, who asked, question for next week. Any chance you give us all the realms you're playing on the auction house so we don't have to be competition? Late. So as far as competition and having an auction house presence, I am on around 40 realms. You can see I made this quick checklist of the realms that I'm playing on. And I am on around 18 out of the 20 highest pop realms on NA. And then the rest of the realms are just a scatter of the low pop realms on NA. I just picked most of them at random. As far as competition, I don't think you have to worry too much. I only have a big auction house presence on probably like 4 to 5 of these realms, so on the majority of realms, you're going to be pretty safe. Yeah, even like on the high pops, I'm flipping casually and selling like pets and stuff like that, so I'm not too heavily invested in many markets, and on most of these realms, I'm not going to be too much competition, so should be pretty safe. That's going to be it for questions from the last video. Remember that if you want to ask me anything, you can leave them in the comments of the most recent weekly video, and they may get featured and answered in the following week's video. That's going to be it for this week's video. I did have a lot of people request a series where I start on a fresh realm and work up to 1 million gold, so I will be starting and working on that in the next couple of weeks. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Happy reset day tomorrow, and hope you guys all have a great week. Late.